All right, so this is going to be a video demonstrating pelvic lateral flexion. So lateral flexion is essentially we're trying to take the pelvis, we're trying to laterally flex in either direction, and that's going to feel like your hip bone kind of getting pulled up towards your rib cage on that same side. So if I'm trying to laterally flex to my right, I should feel my right hip bone kind of pulling up in towards my right rib cage as my left drops down a little bit, and then vice versa. If I'm laterally flexing to my left, I should feel my left hip bone pull up towards my left side rib cage. So we're going to use the ground as feedback. So as I go through these, you're probably not going to be able to see a whole lot because it's a very small amount of movement, but just try to keep in mind we're trying to create that lateral flexion with the pelvis. Okay, we're going to use our hands as kind of guiding tools. So you're going to put your hands on your hip bones, again, kind of the most prominent part of your hips, and then we're going to lightly press the lower back into the ground. That way we make sure we're not getting any spinal extension. And then from there, just going to think about kind of pulling, laterally flexing to my right. So I should feel my right hip bone kind of pull up towards my right side rib cage. Feel lots of midline activity, kind of like deep abdominal stuff, doing the work on the right side. Then unwinding that, I'm going to try to pull up and in towards my left side. So now I'm laterally flexing to my left. Feel lots of work on kind of my obliques, all this like side and core musculature. And then I'm just going to kind of go back and forth. Again, the entire time, keeping a little bit of activity, pressing my lumbar spine into the ground. Just working side to side. Okay, go ahead, do the prescribed amount of reps that your coach has given to you. For these, just take it slower so you can feel the right movement from the right places. And again, even if it's just a very, very minuscule amount of movement, that's better than getting a lot